The mobile app industry is not stopping at all. Experts have landed in many such debates where different opinions are presented to offer a decent user experience. With that being said, here we were thinking of chatting about exploring this new trend that has taken over the heat in the last couple of years, and that is progressive web apps. It's debatable whether progressive web apps are better than the mobile applications, as many of them out there support mobile apps and many are influenced by mobile web experience. Well, PWAs have got the key to a smooth user experience to offer, as the technology has just stepped into mobile industry. It's very obvious for the users to dig into the roots of PWA and gain in-depth understanding of this concept. So first, let's clear what are progressive web apps. So these progressive web apps are all about offering features similar to those of typical native applications on a browser. It's an application that works on the web browser. If we take a look from a technical perspective, so PWAs grant access to open web technologies in order to render cross-platform interoperability. PWAs provide the audience with an app-like functionality and experience that's customized for their devices. So the idea behind the concept of progressive web application is to provide users with access, be it any device, like as they are using it on a browser. There are many companies like Instagram, Twitter, Tinder, Pinterest, Uber, Forbes who are using progressive web apps. Now the question comes how progressive web apps are different from native applications. So native applications are self-contained programs that stick with smartphones only. Progressive web applications are websites with the look and feel of an app to offer a bespoke experience to the users. So now that we have talked about some of the interesting facts, so it's also vital to understand what makes PWA a PWA. So how are these very web applications different from the mainstream native applications? The first point is responsiveness. So progressive web applications run on the browser and the browser can be accessed from every device, be it a smartphone, desktop, tablet, iPad and all of this. So the development team ensures that there is no back and forth in the UI of the application. The app's design fits perfectly according to the device. The second is flexibility. So what is the point of having a progressive web application that is lacking nothing but flexibility? The most important factor of progressive web apps is that their margin is not up to smartphones. They are accessible on every platform. And that is the reason progressive web applications are secret sauce for increased user engagement, as they have a forte to be able to function on all types of browsers or operating systems. The third point is of factor of connectivity. So when it comes to the website, it's pretty obvious that you cannot explore the website when the internet connection is down. But some native applications allow users to use them regardless of low connectivity at times. But progressive web applications, despite running on the internet browser, allows users to explore the same with the app independent of the connection. This process by catching the app data ahead of time. This process is implemented with service workers. Moreover, your progressive web applications should be able to function offline. That way, you are leaving no reason for your users to switch to something else. The fourth important point is keep the application feel intact. Remember the core idea behind the implementation of progressive web applications. These days, PWA is going far beyond the mainstream native applications. But that does not mean they are similar to the websites. Well, progressive web apps are all about offering an app-like experience on the web. So it's pretty imperative for you to not let it lose the app-like feel when you are in the process of developing a PWA. It's like a website is supposed to include interactive features that drive users to interact with the same. This very page can be added to the home screen of a device and users can use this page as though it were a native app. Now, let's look into the technical perspective on how do PWAs work. The very first point is single page website. So a single page application interacts with the user by dynamically executing a new page instead of loading a different page from the server when requested. To put it simply, the browser does not send a request to load the entire new page when the users request for the same. In a single page application, JavaScript replaces the new page with the previous one. It's like a user has switched to a different page after clicking the link. And this function is must in progressive web apps, just like single page applications. This feature takes care of content by making it load instantly, which is quite necessary to bring in an app like feeling. The second is service workers. So when we are talking about progressive web applications, we are talking about the quicker page loading, application experience, augmented mobile conversion, offline browsing, push notifications, and much more. But have you ever cared to think about what makes PWA a PWA? Which technical aspects have made this majestic experience possible? Well, here comes service workers into the play that have majorly contributed to creating a mobile app industry transformer, that is PWA. So service workers are an integral part of progressive web application development, and if you want to really go deeper, so let's learn how it works. So if a user is looking for a website, he or she can get access to the same by typing the domain name or direct IP address. So when it comes to PWA, the accessibility is linked to service workers. So a service worker is a client-side JavaScript file that is added to your code base. So it's found between the server and the browser that creates background functionality to simulate the app's feature to create the look and feel of an original native application. The third is web application manifest. A web app manifest is a JSON file that makes the browser aware of how the app should be performed and conduct itself when the user install it on a mobile device. So even though the file contains the basic information regarding your application, it still plays an imperative role to make the PWA look no less than the mainstream native application. The basic information that the web app manifest contains is the name of the application, information about the icon, information about start_URL. So once the criteria have been met, the browsers subsequently suggest the users to install the web applications. The fourth point is the process of PWA being compatible with the browsers. So almost all the latest browsers support the features of progressive web apps like push notifications, but it is necessary for the browsers to support the service workers. Most of the browsers do the same. So the good part is the progressive web application is still accessible to the users without certain features at times, as it's a web application. So when it comes to the Google Chrome browser, it's quite compatible with progressive web applications. If the website matches up with progressive web app installability criteria, then Chrome will automatically enable users to install the same on their home screen. Now if we speak about how do PWAs work from the SEO perspective, so the catch is making PWA compatible with SEO, which is not possible just by creating the same. You will have to exhibit the same in the apt way. So progressive web apps can be indexed like the way other pages are being crawled and indexed, although the methods and strategies to make PWAs crawlable and indexed are totally different. So let's refer to the best method of all time. So yes, prioritize your content and combine it with server-side rendering. The succinct and neat way to overcome the challenge of making PWA SEO friendly is to prioritize content by recognizing the most significant elements of your web app that you want to pass to search engines for sure on a prior note, and serve this content using server-side rendering. With this practice, you will be assured that search engines will consider all the crucial data immediately after discovering your page. Now the main question is, when should you be using PWA? So brands frequently create mainstream native applications for users to make their journey of exploring the more of a business niche easier. So users generally return to the website and perform frequent actions. An app can make their task easier so that they do not have to access the website every time they want to explore the brand. So you can develop progressive web apps in the same situations where the native apps are used for your visitors to visit the same. Now there are many questions you need to ask yourself before proceeding ahead. The very first question you need to ask yourself that, do you have any ready-made developments? Because the reason is, turning a ready-made mobile app into a progressive web app is not done with a few mere clicks. The development of PWA has to be done from the scratch. You are already aware of the extensive and complex process of the app development. Developing PWA from the scratch is just uh, consolidates your toil. Although your app is outdated, that's why you are planning for PWA. The option of reviving the very app can also be done. Think about it. The second question is, do you plan to focus on mobile devices only? The reason is, before PWA, businesses were willing to target both websites and applications for the user engagement and to increase the conversion rates. The purpose of PWA is to offer convenience for the user and efficiency for the business. By developing progressive web apps, you can definitely have a win-win situations because you are developing one application for both Android and iOS, which is accessible on all the browsers and devices. However, this is exactly what you can achieve with cross-platform development. The third question is, are you unwilling to let your users access the app via a web browser? The reason is, the key difference between mobile apps and progressive web apps lies in the fact that the former are downloaded from the store, and whereas the latter can be accessed through a shared link or directly from a website. So managing app stores is not a matter of a cakewalk. If you think that featuring in top search result is difficult, then PWA is for you. If your website already has a satisfying number of the target audience or devoted users, progressive web apps would work best for you. The last question is, do you need advanced mobile device features? There are many advanced mobile device features that are far beyond the reach of PWA. Progressive web apps cannot work with proximity sensors, advanced camera controls, audio or video recording, fingerprint scanning, NFC, or even Bluetooth. You need to have a discussion with your development team about what can be done to fix this. Now, let's understand the best practices to follow to develop PWA. The first is the less is more rule. Progressive web apps are developed to let users explore and use them smoothly and easily. You need to take care of the less is more rule here, and you will be prioritizing things accordingly. The second rule is throw the friction of your PWA. PWA is mainly known for its increased loading speed, but there is no meaning of its efficiency if your target audience is not able to perform the crucial actions like completing the checkout process. Try to fix these tedious problems with solutions like autofill, integrated web payments, one-tap sign-up, and the automatic sign-in. Cut down the friction and offer all that stuff a user require at checkout while keeping the process secure. The third is implement the feature offline. The progressive web applications are the ultimate strategy to generate user engagement and conversion rates. Make sure you are making the best use of the same. The fourth is Lighthouse is your best friend. Google has launched an open source performing management tool called Lighthouse that can work as a Chrome extension or as a node module. So you are able to audit your web app or any web page with Lighthouse and have an extended report of the page. Also, you can get a reference doc for each and every audit item that gives you the details of why the audit is important and how to fix the falling audit. Lastly, I must say that PWA is pretty debatable concept, but having every piece of information right in front of your eyes makes things clear and easy to understand for you. Just like this podcast, it was very deep, it was very detailed, and I hope that you all enjoyed listening to this podcast and you got all the insights. So we will see you in the next episode. Till then, keep on rocking.